Good day to you. My name is Peter Jordan. In this video, I want to talk about the coping mechanisms that you developed on the inside of you in order for you to cope and to survive. Okay, one thing. Now you think that as you go through life, that everybody is the same as you. Um, and would operate the same way as you. And in fact, this is not the case. What it is that you have developed for you is normal in terms of people that have been abused in some way. But is everybody on the planet developed in the same way as you? Absolutely not. Okay, the things that we spoke about in the last session about you living in your head and your ability to analyze, etc., all of those things is not in the general public. These are the things that it is that you have developed yourself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unpack them here for you, and then at the end I'll try to put it all into perspective for you. So when this happened to you, you cut yourself off from those around you, and in the process, you developed your own personal power and your self-reliance and dependability to protect you from any further possible abuse. You made sure that you were always near to somebody whom you trusted and could feel safe with. Or more likely you isolated yourself in some way. You would often be in a room by yourself or somewhere by yourself. Over time, this led to you learning to depend on yourself more and more, and as a result, you developed a huge degree of self-reliance. Now, in order to become self-reliant, it is that you have to start thinking for yourself. You have to start reasoning for yourself. You have to start trusting your own thinking ability. All of those form the parts. These are the supporting parts for somebody to become self-reliant. Okay. This self-reliance has morphed itself into dependability and an ability to cope. And to be able to develop these things, a prerequisite is essential. And that is that you had to develop your own personal power. Without this personal power, you simply could not have developed these qualities. Many people around you do not have this personal power. The people around you see this in you and ask them. Now, what often happens is people say, I haven't got personal power. So, oh, yes, you have. Okay, because it is that through your tenacity that you went through this and that you survived and you isolated yourself and you depended on yourself and you and your own thinking and all of that. And these are the things that you did for you. And in order to do that, you needed power. But the issue is that you've given away lots of your power. Okay, so when you take that power back and this developed power of yours, that you grow this and utilize this, this is your power. This is in you, and we will develop this in you as we go further and further along in our videos. So the next issue is that you start to analyze and look for nuances and possible meanings that others say or do. To protect yourself, you start to listen carefully to what people say and watch what they do. You analyze everything that was said to find out anything that may be negative or have a negative effect on you. You spend hours and hours doing this so that you are fully prepared for any eventuality, and you become brilliant at this analytics. If you want to do a good job, or if I want somebody to analyze something well, ask a person that has been sexually abused and give them a job for something to analyze well, and they could do it with their eyes closed. It's an easy task for you. You've been doing it for years, okay, on a thing. This is an outstanding quality of you. To make the world safe for you, you take this power and you learn to control the environment around you. Now, this is the misuse of your power. Okay, this is the negative use of your power. What you got to learn is you got to learn to use it in a constructive way. To learn to control is an excellent thing. This is an excellent quality. The problem is with you guys is that this is not in balance. Like if this was a balanced thing, okay, that's balanced. This is unbalanced. This is where you operate. You need to operate like that, okay, that it is in balance. And we need to talk about what is control in balance, and that will come about much later on. But the issue is for you to learn to control self and not to control those around you. This is the balanced use of your power, to control the self. Control others around you is a misuse of power. When you are doing this, you are taking power from other people. You're taking their power from them, okay? When you control, or you want to control people around you in any kind of relationship, it eventually leads to the relationship breaking up. The people you control around you eventually leave you because it's not pleasant to be with you. They feel put down, they feel belittled. They feel not recognized, they feel not respected, they feel not honored, or they feel disempowered while with you. Nobody wants this, for it is against the very nature of every person on the planet. The other thing that victims often do is they start insisting that it is not a tangible thing, but a feeling thing. Sorry, I'll try again. The other thing that victims often do is they start insisting that their partner must continually prove to them that they love them. Proving love is impossible. It is not a tangible, but a feeling thing. Victims are generally unable to feel and therefore struggle to feel this for themselves. This form of demand is just another form of control. When you realize that you are doing this, you must learn that control on self is paramount, because you need to start controlling the way that you behave, and it is not to control others. When you change this process within you from controlling to empowering, your whole life will start to change. To maintain and strengthen the control around you, you resort to manipulation of others. Okay, this is yet another coping mechanism. It's not long after you start controlling those around you that you realize that you need something else to get natural ongoing support for you in your quest to be safe. You discover that if you can manipulate those around you to being and staying with you, then you don't have to threaten, but you can coerce those around you to be totally submissive and yet supportive of you. Manipulation becomes the name of the game. This manipulation will often get you into trouble. You must realize what you are doing and learn to stop it. Manipulation along with control will destroy. every relationship that you have over time. All of this is merely a misuse of your power. In other words, you are using your power destructively instead of constructively. Constructive use always leads to betterment, or put another way, try empowering those around you. In other words, it's the exact opposite of the way that you have been operating. Try and do this in an empowering way. Okay, find out what is empowering. Empower those around you, and then you will find that your relationship with them and them with you will change fundamentally. They will then want to be with you, and you never have to coerce them again. Relationships last and grow rather than leave and be destroyed. These are some of the subconscious coping mechanisms that it is that you have unconsciously developed for yourself in order for you to protect yourself. Okay, what we need to understand is that whenever, no, rather, let's put it this way. This is a planet of free will. Okay, when it's a planet of free will, it means that you can do anything and everything that you want to do. When it is that you do something that is harmful to somebody else, there's going to be consequences. Okay, this is not about harming anybody or taking advantage of anybody, because there's always going to be consequences of things. Free will is the free will for you to be free, for you to grow yourself or not grow yourself, or whatever it is you want to do about you, not about others, it's about you. Okay, now the second really important thing for you to understand that this is a planet of duality. Now, what do we mean by duality? Duality is hot and cold, strong and weak, clean and dirty. All of these things have different attributes, okay, on thing. Like we have positive and negative. Okay, now when it comes to somebody that has been or gone through some or other event, such as sexual abuse, there is always the negative of the tissues, the issues that come up. So these are the negatives. There is always the positives that come up that are developed at the same time. Now, when you say positives, what do I mean by that? Positives is the things like the things that you would learn to do. So you learn to think, you learn to analyze, you learn to rationalize, you learn to be able to look at detail, you learn to listen, you learn to feel. Okay, because one of the things that come up is this thing called clairsentience, that you developed, and we will address that at a later stage. But you learn to feel other people's energies. Okay, that it is, and you're quite good at that. These are the positives. You learn to grow your own power. You learn to be by yourself. You learn to rely on yourself. These are all the positives, and there are a whole bunch of negatives that are there. And what we got to do is we got to keep the positives and dump all of the negatives. And over the next 2 videos or so, we are now going to go through that process and learn how to let go of the negative tissues, the issues. Thank you so much for listening and following all through to the end of this video. Thank you. Bye-bye.